It's Danielle from Master in Mathematics. Today we're going to take a look at how we apply our sine ratio. So this particular problem I had shared on my TikTok. This question is taken from the May 2002 Basic Proficiency paper. It is question 6b. And the question here, we'll notice that we have ourselves a problem involving a triangle which consists of two right-angled triangles back to back. Now, the information that we're provided with tells us about the length of PQ, the length of SR, the magnitude of the angle QPS, and it also tells us that the line QS is perpendicular to the line PR. So this information here is just explaining what we see visually in our diagram. Now, if I want to find the length of QS, to find the length of this side of the triangle, I need to know, first of all, which ratio I'm going to apply. In this case, when I look at this triangle, I can tell that I have the information for the length of the hypotenuse. So if I know my hypotenuse and I want to find the length of QS, which is the opposite side to the angle formed at QPS, this indicates that I should be using my sine ratio, because my sine ratio is opposite over hypotenuse. Now, when we say the sine ratio, the reason we're using it is because we have the magnitude of the angle QPS. So what we're going to be writing here when we apply our trig ratio, we're going to say that sine QPS is equal to the opposite side, which is QS, over the hypotenuse, which is PQ. Now that we have our trig ratio applied to this problem, the next thing we need to do is substitute our values. Now we know the magnitude of the angle, so we can plug that in here. Now remember, as we mentioned in one of the earlier videos, trig ratios, these are functions of our angles. When we evaluate sine 30, we're going to be getting a trigonometric value. From here, we're going to substitute the values that we know for the lengths. Now, QS is still unknown to us, but we do know the length of PQ. PQ is this length 20 centimeters, so we're going to substitute 20. So we know from the video, whenever we're trying to find the length of a side, we always have to transpose. We need to make this unknown the subject. So in this case, the unknown here is QS. This is the length that we want to find out. We're going to transpose so that we'll make QS as a subject. So this means from here, I need to multiply both sides of my equation by 20. When I transpose, the next thing I need to do here is just simplify the statement, right? So when I simplify here, this is just a product. So I'll write it as 20 sine 30. This just simply means 20 times sine 30. Now, as I had mentioned in one of my earlier videos, the sine ratio as well as the other trig ratios, these are functions of the angle. Now we need to evaluate sine 30, and the only way we can evaluate that, we're going to use our calculator to find the value for sine 30. So to evaluate sine 30, what I'm going to do is go to my calculator. What we're going to do now is evaluate the value for sine 30, our trigonometric value for sine 30. When you use your typical scientific calculator, I have to enter my angle's magnitude first and then press my trig function. So when I evaluate sine 30, I'll get 0.5. This is my trigonometric value. I'm going to substitute this back into my equation, and this will help me evaluate the length of QS. Now that we've evaluated sine 30, let's substitute the value into our equation here. We'll get 20 times 0.5 is equal to QS, which will give us, because 20 times 0.5, we get the length of QS to be 10, and our units, centimeters. So we'll state that QS is 10 centimeters, and we have our answer. So this is how we apply the sine ratio here. So for those of you who participated in poll on my TikTok, if you had indicated that you'd use your sine ratio in this problem, excellent job. So this brings us to the end of this tutorial on the application of the sine ratio. Hopefully it was helpful. You can look forward to another video where we will look at the second part where we learn how to find magnitude of an angle.